All right, so today let's talk about the keys to marketing success. And Brian and I think that there are about 3 or 4 keys to marketing success, and we'll break those down for you now. So, Brian, you want to start us off?
Sure. Well, the first one is really having the correct mindset, right? Having, thinking about it the correct way. And by that, we mean really being open to different things, because as the world changes and as different tactics change, it's really being nimble in how you're communicating or you're getting that message across. So I think the thing is you have to be, very, very flexible, right? In the way you're looking at your marketing, because as things change and as you're looking at the pieces you're creating, the first thing is to change your mindset and not be stuck in things you think or don't think work or things that you think don't work. I know over my career, and I know, Nicolette, you've probably seen this too, where you test stuff and there's some stuff that you go, wow, this is going to work. And it goes, it works okay. And then there's other things like, let me test this. I don't know if it's going to work well. But what happens is it winds up working really well. And you find some gold nuggets in there. And you're like, okay, here's what I've learned. And here's how I could do that. So I think it's always keeping your mindset open and being able to really be flexible with your plan.
And being open-minded also means staying away from cliches like that's the way we've always done it. Just because you've always done something a certain way doesn't mean that it's the right thing. What's appropriate for one phase is not always appropriate for the next phase.
A lot of marketers too have a tendency to look at, what's trending? Like, it's content marketing. We must do content. Well, how does that really apply for you? And I think that's part of the open-mindedness, understanding not just here's what it is that I should do because I've heard it, but here's how I actually implement it for me as an individual. And I think that's, some of the practicality in what you do as a company.
So the next thing that is really a key to success would be kind of that planning stage, right? And making sure that you have proper planning in place and you're not just, winging it with your marketing plan, right? So you talk about the formulation, right, Brian?
Yeah. So I think formulation, you really got to go, here's my plan. You have some knowledge already. You've done some research. Here's the plan you think is going to work. So you need to formulate that, right? And, and go, okay, here's what this is going to look like, because to me, preparedness is 90, percent of it. The rest is just showing up and executing, right? So you got to prepare on what you're doing, but you also have to understand, going back to the open-mindedness, that sometimes you're going to find things that work in that formulation and that don't, and being able to shift sometimes. But you got to have your plan and your formulation done. I know, Nicolette, we were talking about like budgets. You need to know what your budget is, right? You need to know what you plan on spending. You need to know, your KPIs, like what are your goals? Are you looking for conversion? Are you looking for page views? Are you looking, what are you looking for the user to do? How are you looking to interact? Are you just looking for followers? It doesn't matter where they are worldwide, or does it matter, so you're planning on what your goals are. And then you're looking at, here's all the tactics I have, and how can I best apply those tactics to meet those goals?
Right. And part of planning is setting appropriate expectations. And you talked about budgets and goals. So, if you have a limited budget, you cannot set unrealistic expectations for what you hope to achieve in that, during your marketing campaign. So, set those realistic expectations, and you could be really open-minded, but if your budget is not quite as open-minded, you have to find, some creative ways to achieve those goals.
Like people, sometimes they're looking at targeting users in, certain parts of the world, let's say, right? Or certain demographics. And what they have to understand too, is those demographics may be more expensive or less expensive than, other demographics if they're looking at targeting. So they have to be realistic. Like, for instance, if you want to target someone, on Facebook in, the United States, it's going to be more expensive than targeting someone on Facebook in India, even though those are, I think that those are the 2 biggest Facebook markets, but it becomes much more expensive to target someone in the United States and get a follow, let's say, than someone in India. So you have to be, realistic to understanding what information is already out there when you formulate these plans.
All right. And the third key to success would be the actual execution. So we break down the execution in terms of, content creation, video creation, social media strategy. And there's this other component about your brand, which I think we're going to get to in a minute. But those first 3 are really, how do you execute that plan once you have it in place? And this can be other things, when we talk about content, video, and social, there's also promotion in terms of email newsletters and, all kinds of website advertising and other forms of advertising. But these three are really like the creation parts, like the stuff that you're creating that we're focusing on here.
And what's, you bring up a good point, right? Some of it's the creation point, and you talked about content and video as those creation points, right? Those are the things you're creating. And then you have it's content, right? But it's the post you're posting on social media. So it's how you're using those pieces of content in each channel that becomes important to your strategy, also with the execution.
Now, you've been open-minded, you've strategized this, you've put a plan in place, you have some realistic expectations, and now you're going to sit down and you're going to actually do the stuff, right? So, I think the best way to go about that is to have, in your planning, is to really combine those pieces and not just say, okay, we're going to do content and it's going to be unrelated to video, and then video is going to be unrelated to social. And, that should really just be like an all-inclusive strategy is probably the best way to approach it, so that you're not wasting your time and your resources, and you can repurpose all of that stuff and really maximize efficiency.
Absolutely. And especially, like we talked about at the beginning, if you have your goals or your KPIs in mind, like it's to gain followers, what you're doing is when you're creating those pieces, they're all working together to accomplish that same goal, where you have a video that maybe is just designed for branding, and then you have a piece of content that's designed to get a follower. But if they're all following the same goal and they're trying to hit the same metric and working together, and there is correlation, because look, any user or prospective customer you may have, they're going to use various different channels that they may see your message in, and how you use that tactic right in those channels is going to help them convert. So they should absolutely all work together, all your pizzas.
The other thing that I mentioned a little bit after you're kind of at that point, one thing that I think separates people apart is being relatable. And that could be you as a person, if it's a small business, or it could be your brand as a whole if it's a larger company. But anybody could sell or create content or create a video, but what's really going to connect you to that audience is kind of incorporating that level of connection.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? The connection with your audience, and being almost vulnerable and expressing like your values, because that seems to be a trending thing now. Everybody wants to know like what's at the core of this company, and show us what's under the hood, and let us know that you're humans, and that your brand stands for something, and whatever it may be. So I think there's that relatable, aspect.
I truly believe the biggest thing that sells or converts people is the emotional connection, to it. So if for whatever reason your brand has an emotional connection, we talked about what's under a hood of what that brand stands for. If they support some type of cause, right? What happens is, and you're relatable to that cause, what happens is that actually makes that emotional tie to the actual brand. And I think that's what happens with a lot of things, because so many people, buy and connect on emotion, right? So what happens is, if you're able to show you're vulnerable or show who you really are, what happens is you're connecting to a human being, right? As a brand or a person or whatever, but you're connecting to them as a human being, not as, here, I'm a business and I'm trying to sell you something and here's your money. And the connection is between selling that product and your money. You're selling, you're not selling value, let's say, even though you are at the end of the day, they still need to be good value to your product, but you're not selling the value. You're not selling the money conversion. What you're saying is, hey, look, we have bigger goals as a company, and this is what we stand for. And you're creating an emotional connection to that person in order to have them, engage with you, really.
So those are the keys to marketing success. And if you'd like to continue your successful marketing journey, follow us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and keep an eye out for more marketing videos.
Absolutely.